going to bake pumpkin pie.
I'm Annie from the ADHD Minimalist. This is my daughter, and today we are going to show you how to bake pumpkin pie, as well as how to make a regular pumpkin pie when you don't live in the United States and can't get all the ingredients. So come and join us. We are going to bake a pumpkin today so we can make pumpkin pie without a can of pumpkin, because in Sweden we can't buy a can of pumpkin. I'm originally from the USA, and my family likes to eat pumpkin pie, so we miss pumpkin pie and we have to wait all year for a pumpkin because they only sell them in October. So pretty much all you need is a sharp knife and a pumpkin and an oven. Let's see if we can cut this. You may actually get all the way through it. If you don't cut through the hard part in the bottom, it's much easier. The pumpkin doesn't have to be symmetrical. And then you can just pull it to get the end off. So, all you see, you have two halves of a pumpkin, and we're going to need to scoop out the seeds and all this stringy stuff. One of the best tools that I found to get the seeds and the stringy stuff in the middle here out of the pumpkin is this grapefruit knife. It's sharp on both sides and it's not straight. It's a little bit curved. So then I just use my hands and pull the rest of it out. So once you've gone around one time, you're gonna need another container to put all this stuff in. Just start pulling. Do you want to see? You want help? I'm pulling the strings and the seeds out of the pumpkin so we can make more pumpkin.
Baby pumpkin!
Oh, was it the small pumpkin that I used? We have a giant pumpkin in our house here. Wonder how many pumpkin pies you can make out of the giant pumpkin. So now we've gotten all the insides out of the pumpkin, and we're just gonna leave it on this. It's like a deep, I want to call it a cookie sheet, but or a really big casserole dish. Maybe you could use 2 casserole dishes, one for each half would work, but they should be a little bit deep, because otherwise you will have what I had one time with pumpkin water running all over the bottom of your oven and burning on the bottom. So make sure that you have something that will catch the water later, because pumpkins they're quite wet when you put them in the oven. So you're just gonna put it in the oven for about 2 hours. The first hour a little bit hotter, and then I usually turn it down after an hour. Whatever you're comfortable with, like not that it's not gonna burn and you don't have to worry about it. It's not really a big deal what temperature it goes in at. It could be in there longer at a lower temperature or shorter at a higher temperature. Just don't burn it. That's about it. What are we doing? Can you tell everybody what we're doing? Scooping out pumpkin. We baked these in the oven for 2 hours yesterday. Now we can scoop out the pumpkin to make a pumpkin pie. And why are we not making pumpkin pie out of a can? Did you forget how to talk? Well, here in Sweden, you can't buy pumpkin pie in a can. We have to make our own pumpkin first, and then we can make a pie. So the only thing that we did yesterday was cut the pumpkin in half and stick it in the oven. This helps some of the water. To evaporate, so you don't have a really wet pumpkin pie. Let's not do that. That makes a lot of noise. Because the first thing that happened to me when I made a pumpkin pie from scratch was that the pumpkin was really wet. And we had a really wet, runny pumpkin pie, which tasted good, but it had a really strange texture. So when we scoop this out, we're trying to leave the shell in the pan. Sometimes you'll accidentally get some of it on the piece you're trying to spoon off, but you can just usually turn it over and scrape that off. Oh, let's see, we show, so far we have quite a lot of pumpkin in the bowl. But there's still, like, if you keep scraping, I mean, we got a lot out, but you can get a lot more off. So I usually freeze in the pumpkin, and you can keep it for over a year. Once I forgot it was in the freezer for a couple of years, and when I got it out, it was still fine. How much pumpkin do you have left? Is that how much you have left on your pumpkin? Might be kind of hard for them to see, but you just need to scrape the edges. And maybe we should make one to take to Grandma.
I not understand first, or I can't not do a pumpkin pie, man. I want to do one, man. This is not the good stone. This is the mush.
You think it's mushy?
Yes, squishy.
The pumpkin is squishy. Okay.
And it's very hard to take it out. It takes 60 o'clock to do this time.
60 seconds?
Yep.
Okay. Might have taken us a little longer than that, but I don't think it takes us 60 minutes, because that would be a whole hour. I think we're already almost done. And 60 minutes make up an hour. Did the pumpkin just fly across the table? Oh, no.
I do not understand this. Squish, squish, squish,
Squish, squish, squish.
I don't know.
Are you done now?
I can't understand you now. Okay.
Can you tell everyone how old you are?
I like this.
Well, we're almost ready to get started on our pie, but first we have to get out the mixer and mix this up, because if you don't use a mixer with a blade and mix up the pumpkin, then what happens, Zoe? Can you tell them what happens?
This blir a pumpkin pie.
It'll be a pumpkin pie, but it gets really stringy.
Stringy is
you
not
get a stringy pie.
Must I?
What? Okay. Do we want to have a stringy pumpkin pie?
Yes.
Yes. Well, I've tried that before. It wasn't the best. So it's best to just mix it up.
This.
Oh yeah, show them how much is in it. It's quite a lot, isn't it? How many pies do you think that will make?
40 to 60 pies.
40 to 60 pies. That's a lot of pie.
1 pie.
1 pie? That might be an enormous pie. This big old container is at least half full. So can you push the button there? Push the button. No, it's not. Feel free to check out my blog, The ADHD Minimalist, where we give tips and tricks for family life with ADHD and dyslexia.